Hi everyone, and welcome back as I take a look at episode 3 of series 1 of Blake 7, Cygnus Alpha. Now, as we all know, when we left off the last episode, Blake, Avon and Jenna managed to escape on a alien vessel, and Villa and Gan and the rest are still on the prison ship. So, the prison ship is approaching Cygnus Alpha. The inhabitants see the Federation prison ship and they prepare to greet the new arrivals on this very bleak, barren, foreboding planet. Meanwhile, back on the commandeered ship by Blake, Avon and Jenna, they are looking around and they come across which looks like weapons of some sort. They discover they can only handle one at a time. They're not allowed to have two. Interesting. Jenna has a strange experience with her hand over one of the control panels, and her mind is being read, and it all seems a bit odd until we are met with the ship's computer called Zen. Now, Zen states knowledge must not be handed out on a plate. You got to learn it. So basically, he's telling Blake, Jenna and Avon, you want to know about this ship, you got to study it and learn for yourself. Meanwhile, the prisoners aboard the Federation ship have landed on Cygnus Alpha, and they have been disembarked to a holding area on Cygnus Alpha. So, the Federation ship is now taking off and leaving Cygnus Alpha. Then they release the prisoners to this barren world. Meanwhile, back on which we now know as the Liberator, taken from Jenna's mind when she was in communion with Zen, let's say, they discover something else. It seems to be a teleport. Blake has also given orders for Zen to follow the Federation ship all the way to Cygnus Alpha, and they have duly arrived at Cygnus Alpha. Zen puts up on the monitor an image of the planet of Cygnus Alpha. So, Avon, Blake and Jenna are slowly getting to grips with this incredible ship. Meanwhile, down on the surface, the prisoners are released and are greeted by the locals. And Blake wants a crew, but he knows he cannot land this ship, the Liberator. So he takes a chance with the teleport system, and it works. He's put down for a period of 4 minutes, runs into some locals. He's managed to get himself back onto the Liberator. Then he comes back down again for a period of 4 hours, and he comes across a building where he has a look around. Blake is promptly captured by Vargos, the leader of this quasi-peculiar religious cult, and is given this backstory of the penile colony. Now, Vargos wants to get off the planet, and he has this opportunity after breaking some bracelets that Blake was carrying. Blake urges him not to break any more, and Blake basically tells him, I was on the Federation prison ship. I escaped on this mysterious alien vessel. And Vargos basically says, I want to take my message out to the stars, and you are going to cooperate and let me on board your ship. To which Blake obviously says, no way, absolutely no way. So Blake is thrown in the place of novices. You could call it a prison, because it is practically a prison, with the rest of the Federation prisoners. Now Vargas has, he's been reading this book. It's like prophecy to him. He's determined to get on board Blake's ship. Meanwhile, Avon and Jenna have been looking around. Jenna's come across some new clothes and mentions a very interesting room to Avon. A room that has a lot of wealth in it. A heck of a lot of wealth. Meanwhile, back down in the prison, Blake basically tells the other prisoners, look, I'm busting out of here. I'm not staying 1 second longer in this hellhole. You're either was with me or against me, and I don't give a damn because I am busting out. And so some of them go along with Blake, and there's a bit of a fight with the locals. Blake managed to get a bracelet on, so does Villa, so does Gan. Vargas has already got a bracelet on from the interrogation with Blake. Anyway, the upshot is that Blake, Villa and Gan all appear on the Liberator, being, transported up. And so is Vargas. He's brought up as well. And he's threatening the crew, but he backs woods. He walks backwards, let's say, back into the teleport area, and he's promptly beamed off, excuse my phrasing there, the Liberator, and into space, and kaboom, and that's the end of him. So now Blake has now got 2 more members to join his crew, that of Gan and Villa. Not bad episode. I don't think it's as good as the others, but overall, not bad. So, here's my thoughts. Well, here we go. Here's my thoughts on this particular story. Well, there's definitely some errors in this episode. The fight scenes between Blake and the locals when he first appears on Cygnus Alpha, and where did all these bracelets come from he was carrying? No indication of that. How did Blake manage to know which button to press to get rid of Vargas from the Liberator? Quite a few errors in this episode, I found. Yes, well, okay. Overall, it's an okay episode. It gets Gan and Villa aboard the Liberator, and it does move the story on a bit more. And on that note, have a great day. Goodbye.